I'm completely and mentally stable.
Jesus wept.
Centuries had passed since the fall from grace, and Eve, the mother of all living, had long since departed from the world of the living. She had chosen to be part of the void, and become mother of monsters. The years had been wonderful and beautiful. Yet, in the realm of shadows, she wandered, her soul restless with the weight of ancient grief. Her heart yearned for her slain son, Abel, whose blood had stained the earth and whose spirit had been lost to time. In the vast, empty darkness, Eve found herself before the void again, a primordial force older than creation itself, a being that thrived in the spaces between light and shadow. He has shown his love for her, and asked for her hand at the time of her death. The void was formless and fathomless, its presence felt more than seen, unless he felt it necessary, conjuring a form of a person made of shadow. "Why do you wander here, soul of Eve?" The void's voice resonated, echoing through the emptiness. Eve, her voided form trembling, fell to her knees. "I have come to beg you, great void, to bring back my son Abel. His life was cut short by the hand of his brother, guided by God, and my heart has never known peace. I implore you, grant me this mercy." The void, intrigued by her plea, swirled around her, its essence a whisper of the unknown. "Centuries have passed, and the world has changed. What could compel me to heed your request now?" "Abel was pure and righteous," Eve pleaded. "In his death, the world lost a beacon of hope and goodness. Even now, I believe his return could bring balance to a world rife with sin and sorrow." The void considered her words, its silence stretching into the abyss. Finally, it spoke, its tone both solemn and cryptic. "Very well, Eve. I shall grant your request, but understand this. What emerges from the void is not what it once was. The darkness reshapes all it touches." With a gesture unseen, the void reached through time and space to the place where Abel's bones lay, untouched by centuries yet preserved by the earth's embrace. As the void's power enveloped the remains, they began to transform. Bones knitted together, sinews of shadow binding them, and flesh formed anew, pale as the moon's light, but marked with the darkness of the void's touch. Before Eve, Abel stood resurrected, yet profoundly altered. His eyes, once gentle, now blazed with an deep cosmic darkness. His form, once that of a humble shepherd, was now that of a mighty warrior, clad in armor forged from the very shadows. In his hand, he grasped a great sword, dark as the night, imbued with the essence of the void. "Eve," the void intoned, "your son has returned. But he is no longer the Abel you knew. He is now a warrior of darkness, bound to the will of the void. His purpose is no longer his own, nor mine but yours, child of the mother and father of monsters." Eve, her heart a maelstrom of joy and sorrow, reached out to her son. "Abel, my son, can you not remember me?" But Abel, now a being of shadow and wrath, nodded to his mother. His gaze was distant, his mind consumed by the purpose instilled in him by the void. He turned from her. "I remember you plotting with my brother for my death. His presence a harbinger of death and judgment." "Eve," the void whispered, "you asked for his return, and so it is. But the price of such a resurrection is the consequences of your actions. Your son is now a force of darkness, a testament to the mysteries and cruelties of the unseen powers. You may set him free if you wish, though I cannot see if he will ever forgive you." Eve nodded. He turned to Abel. "As a gift for my son, I give you several. The most important is this." The void handed Abel the Necronomicon. Eve wept, her tears falling into the void, for though her son had returned, he was lost to her once more. The warrior, forged in the darkness, began his solitary journey, leaving behind the grieving void corrupted form of his mother. Thus, the void had fulfilled its promise, and the world was forever altered by the return of Abel, now a dark and formidable figure, a living shadow that walked the earth, a reminder of the enigmatic and often merciless forces that govern the fates of humanity. On the third day Eve walked to the edge of her new domain to weep as she did every morning after his absence. This morning, unknown to her, she was accompanied by Abel. "Hello, Mother," his voice caused her to lurch her tail at him before pulling back. "My child. Have you come home?" Abel shook his head. "I have been granted immortality in this life. For my life before is a hollow shell of what it is and was capable of. I forgive you, Mother, to release us both of this burden." He moved towards her, placing a stone in her hand. "For this is a stone from my coffin. When my body is destroyed, I will awaken there, for that is the gift Mother and Father Void have giveth unto me. Thank you." Abel descended back to the world of the living, to punish those that seek to harm innocence of humanity. "Cain!" he roared as he descended, shaking the thin veil of reality itself. Though his job was vengeance to those whom died innocently, he had a personal mission first.